Because I deal with people close quarters and I learn their story, a lot of people, I'd say over a period of a month, I probably go through at least 7 family or single dynamics, and I actually see their behaviors, and then I see the future of their behaviors. In other words, I see these cycles repeat, and it might be a 2-month, it might be a 1-month cycle, it might be a week, it might be a week, 2 months, 3 months, a year. I've actually watched the cycles, and the same patterns happen over and over. And so you see this kind of person, the way they're acting and the way they're talking to people, and you see it happen every month, every 2 months, every 6 months, every year. You see some cycles that last a year, and then you actually see the outcome, the result of that kind of personality and the way they think, especially the win-lose people. If it's a win-lose instead of a win-win, those people go down really fast. They don't keep a job. They don't keep friends, family, anything. It's because it's all win-lose. They're always trying to win over somebody, and it's not about win-lose. It's about equal exchange, And there's certain ones that I watched over the years, the ones who always blame somebody else. And you might have an opportunity to talk to them, and they'll start to cry or tear up, But every time they start to tear up, they come back to their equilibrium, and then they start blaming everybody else for their stuff, And it's like, come on, man. This is ridiculous. When I say man, it could be a man or a woman, because I've seen it all. I've seen the cycles with all of them. They don't want to take responsibility. There's ulterior motives. It's always a con game going on of some kind. You don't even know really. You don't really know what their agenda. I don't even know if they know what their agenda is, to be honest with you. You don't know what their goal is, their game. I don't even think they know. They seem to be in survival mode or something. I don't know. And some of them, everything's going good, but you know that the way they think, something ain't right. And then it crashes and burns, Everything crashes and burns all of a sudden. It's like, it happens a lot. And it's almost like God removes certain people out of the script, because you're watching them and you've learned your lesson, and they're just removed out of the script. I'm gonna go here and get a hot chocolate. I don't know who's working, but I hear some of their stories, And then you see, they'll tell you a story of a coworker, and they had one worker here, about 8 years ago. That woman was insane. She always talked about fighting and this, that, and the other. And then one day, she was so bold. She thought she could just never be fired, and she was all prideful and wanting to fight people and stuff like that worked here. And I came in, I said, I ain't seen what's her name in about 4 days. And they said, oh, they fired her. I said, why? Because they caught her on the camera smoking a marijuana joint at the job. And then they said that she started crying like a little baby. So all that pride and I'm tough and I'm mean and don't mess with me, I'm the top one here, I'm gonna fight you. And then when she smoked that marijuana joint and they fired her, then she was crying like a little baby, If you're going to take a chance, you better be prepared and have a backup system. So anyway, what is my point? I bought one of these a long time ago to strengthen as you're driving, especially doing rideshare. You want you might be waiting on a rider, and you just keep your strength. You know. What is my point? If you observe patterns in other people, and then you face off with one that's trying to deceive you or blind you to whatever, you remember the patterns of these other people that did the same thing to somebody else, and you already know the game. You know the result. You know how it's going to end. That's my point.